Hi everyone, today we're going to be making a dried wheat door wreath. Now to do this you need one of these copper rings, you need some wire, you need some hay, and you need some dried wheat. There's two kinds. I've got this kind which is bearded, and then I've got the usual, the normal kind, which hasn't got the like fluffy bits on the top. I wanted to just mix it just to give it a little bit of texture, and sometimes a wreath with the beard all the way around it can be very, very full and kind of lose its shape, so I wanted to just mix the two. So to start off with, we are going to, I've already done this beforehand, but we're going to roll the bits of hay into like little sausages like this. You should be able to just grab a handful and then roll it up into like a sausage shape. So we're going to attach the wire to the ring. So what you want to do is get a bit of wire at the beginning of it and then just thread it and then just twist it a few times overlapping each other so that you've got a strong grip on there. Just like that. And then what you want to do is, as I said, roll the hay up into little bits of sausages as tight as it can go. Place it on the ring. Squeeze it down, squish it down like so. And then you want to just wrap the wire as tight as you can get it around it. Almost flattening it, it doesn't matter if it gets quite flat. And then you just want to do that a few times all the way around, joining it quite close together. And then where you've joined it, just try and sort of lap it at an angle, if you know what I mean. So don't go around like that. At where they meet, where this sausage and this sausage meet, they just do like an angle over it, and then just keep twisting it and pulling. And you want to just keep doing that all the way around. You can buy this sort of, this is just like hay that you'd put in like a rabbit cage. I got this from my local pet shop and it was only a couple of pounds, the hay. You can sometimes buy moss from a wholesalers, from your florist. I mean, I think I've seen some people doing it without this anyway, just straight onto the ring, but because I wanted this to look quite thick, and just to give it some volume, because if it goes straight onto the ring it can look quite flat. So you just keep doing that, and as I said, so where these two have met, push it together, and then with this do one more loop on the other sausage and then just go straight over it like an angle, so it goes onto your fingers almost, hold it there, and then just cross it over so that there's no gaps. And then I've just got one last big one. Just put that into shape, cross it over. And you can really pull with this wire as well. This won't snap. So pull it as tight as you can get it. And I definitely have flattened my hay quite a bit. So roll it as tightly as you can with your hands, and then tighten it even more with the wire. So now you just want to keep the wire attached, but what I do is just go around and clip off any of the little loose bits of hay that is sticking out that you might see, just so it's a little bit more neat. So I do that all the way around. on the outside and the inside. Clip them all off, just so it looks nice and neat and pretty. And now what I've already done is, I mean, I did say keep the wire on, but for the next bit we would need to cut the wire. So cut the wire and then just pull it round and then tuck it behind in the hay. Go under a bit of wire and then just tuck it in the hay. Just make a little hook and then just tuck it in the hay, because you'll need the wire to make these little groups of wheat. So originally mine come on the stem and I just cut them down. I cut the heads off. I didn't measure them so they was all exact. If you can see this, they're all sort of mixed matched in height and length and stuff like that, just because you want it to have that sort of freedom to just look nice. And you don't need it to look neat because it's going around. You don't need it to look like exactly precise. So what you want to do is just cut sort of, I mean, I've got 6, I've probably got 5 or 6 in each little bunch like that. You just want to do that, get a little bit of this wire, wrap it around the stems and then cut it. I've left some spare so I can show you. So I'll probably put another one in if I can find one. So just like that, all a little bit, all different lengths. And then you just want to get a bit of your wire. Oof, I hate when this happens. Get a bit of the wire, hold them together and then just wrap it around a few times so that they're connected. And then that's it. You've got your little bouquet, your little bunch to go on here. So once you've done that, do that with the whole bunch so that you've got all of the beards in a bunch, and then you've got all of your normal wheat in a bunch as well. I need to do that yet. So I'll do that now, some of them now. I mean, you need quite a lot of this stuff. You need quite a lot of it. And this can get a little bit messy. I'm doing this indoors at the moment. I did originally make loads of them in my workshop, and it's okay to make mess out there, but when you're indoors you sort of think, oh. So just cut the stems. I mean, you could even use the stems of this to go on the ring if you wanted to save some money. And then you could just break it up and then just put it around the ring. But I like the look of it with the hay because it just makes it that much more fuller. Get the wire, wrap it around a few times, cut it, and that's it. Maybe pause and then do this bit and then skip to me actually putting it on the wreath, because you'll need some time to do this. I mean, this probably took me 20 minutes to do the bunches. So yeah, if you haven't done the bunches yet, maybe pause, do it, and then just watch me in the background. I'll fast forward it, and then skip once you have done it to me putting on the wreath. So all the bunches are done now. I've got enough there for the wreath. So what you want to start off by doing is just placing one of these little bunches on the wreath, getting your wire, placing it on top of the little bunch, holding it there like that, and then lifting it, and then just wrap it round a few times just to secure that in place. Just like that. And then get your next bunch, and you want to just put that to the left or the right of the bunch you just put on, and then wrap that round too, just on the stems, making sure it's all securely in place. And then once you've done that, maybe get the other wheat without the long bits on it, without the beard, and place that to the right of that. And then, you know what, I've really made this hard for myself because I've done the wire the wrong way, so I'm just going to switch the wire, and then turn that, place that to the right of the first one you did, so you sort of got middle to the left and then to the right of the first bunch. And then maybe another one, just place that underneath or to the left, wherever you think it looks best, of that bouquet, that little bunch. And then the next one, try and place in the middle again. You don't just want to put them one on top of the other, because you'll have lots of space here and here showing that you don't want on your wreath. So just place them so that you're hiding the wreath the whole way round. I mean, some of the stems on my little bunches are very long, so if you're finding that they're quite long when you're putting them on the actual wreath, then just cut them down as you're going. So yeah, just keep rotating. Do one in the middle, one to the left, one to the right, another to the right. It just depends on how you want your wreath to actually look. But do make sure you're looking and hiding the wreath, like the hay, all the way round. And I love the mixture of this wheat because it just looks absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Because I made a few with just the beard, and I didn't really like the look of it. I didn't like the way it looked. It just looked there was just too much happening for my liking. So I thought, you know what, let me switch it up and just make a little bit of a change. Let's add some pieces here and there and just see what happens. And I do like the combo of the mixture of the wheat. You might have to like lay some underneath some others and above and whatnot, but it's all part of it. It's all part of the fun. So yeah, you just want to do this all the way around. Oof, I mean look, it's just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Like this is something that you can have indoors, on your door, wherever you want to put it all year round. But it's not really seasonal. Like Christmas wreaths is obviously sort of winter, autumnal wreaths, autumn. But you don't really have like any sort of restrictions with these. They're just so delicate and pretty that they can you can literally have them on your door at any time of the year, and it wouldn't look ridiculous. It wouldn't look silly. Like, you can't really have a Christmas tree on your door all year round, you know? Some people do. I would if I could. But it's just not something that you would, people would really do, is it? But these, spring, summer, I mean, you can even personalise these and add like little seasonal decorations to it, because it's dried. Even if you use artificial, they're lasting, they're made to last. If they're looked after, when they're not in use, if they're stored properly, they are made to last forever. So you could literally have this wreath and just personalise it with like a little bow or some baubles or some dried fruits, and just match it to the season of the year. I love neutrals. I love neutrals. You can just do so much with them. And I've never taken this wire off, apart from when I was obviously at the beginning when I did this. Keep the wire attached at all times, so you don't need to take it off and move it around and keep detaching and attaching it, because it just makes life a lot more difficult if you keep doing that. So just keep the wire attached all the time. Some of these bunches are a little bit big, I'm finding. See, this is the thing, they just sort of get in the way a little bit, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work. And remember to keep doing the middle, left, right. Don't just keep it strictly to the middle, because you'll be left with an odd shape. Not so much an odd shape, you would just be left with like it would be quite open, and I don't think wreaths are made to be open. I think wreaths are made to be cozy and tight and inviting, you know, like it goes on your door or in your home, wherever it goes. But they're meant to be welcoming and inviting, so. Now, as you're getting back to the beginning, you will find that it's more difficult to add, like in here, you'll find it's more difficult to attach the wheat. So I'll show you, once we get back there, I'll show you how to do it. Because you can't just attach it the way we've been attaching it, you have to sort of like wiggle, do some wiggling, wiggle some bits in. See what I mean? As we're getting closer, you'll notice that you're touching the bearded bits of wheat. Oh, my wire's just snapped. Pulling too hard. Let me just attach that again. So what you want to do is, as you're getting closer to it, that's why I started off with the beard, as you're starting to get closer, just try and lift the beard and then just work closer to the wreath. Like you would have noticed that throughout you could have just wrapped the wire around with your hand. Just try and roll the wire around the wreath so that you're not fiddling with any of the other stuff already on it. And you have to tuck underneath the bit that you did at the beginning. So tuck the stems underneath and then just try to roll the wire around the wreath so you're touching it at all times and it doesn't, you're not got your hands in the air and you're not throwing stuff around. And again, just keep tucking in as close as you can get to the first bit that you did. This is why you wire the stems. Some people just do this without wiring the stems and then just have like 5 bunches and then put it on and then wire it. But I find wiring all of the stems together, you're working with one instead of multiple stems, and that can always be a little bit difficult. So yeah, that's why I always opt for wiring them together. And then you can just play around and fiddle around a bit more. And then when you get really close, this is why I said you have to fiddle, you have to sort of go in between. And be careful when you do it, be delicate, because this is dried flowers. It's not the same as fresh flowers. They're not as strong. And they are very, very delicate. So you just want to have a look, hold it in place with one hand and then go in between the heads of the wreath, the heads of the wheat. Because there will be a point where there's no more wreath left that you can see and you're just wiring into the wheat, which is what I'm doing now. And then I think I can get one more in at the back. And then I think I'm gonna have to be done. And try and go around twice. I've got like a nice little path, to be fair. Like if you just run your finger, I'll show you how I'm doing it in a moment. But if you can just run your finger on the wire like this and then just worm your way through with your finger, it's a lot easier than just letting the wire do it. If you can find a track, and again work closely to it, if you can find a track with your finger, weave your way through it and then just pull it once you've tucked under, it'll be fine. And then you just want to cut the wire, leave some length on it. You just want to cut the wire, stand it up, and then because this is the finish, you want to try, you'll have on the back of the wreath, you'll be able to see like loads of loops, like bits of wire from where you've been tying. Hook it in and then try to tie like a little snake knot almost. Like just worm it around another bit of wire that's already attached to it, and then once you've done that a few times, just tuck it on the copper wreath. If it doesn't bend like it has for me, or if you can find a gap, because mine's so tight I can't actually get around the copper wreath. Okay, I've just gone through the wires. So you want to just pull it through and then tuck it somewhere safely. I've got to cut one short, I left it right there. And then tuck it in there somewhere safe. And then that's it. I mean, I'm gonna have lots and lots of bits of, because I've worked on one bench and not been able to clear it, I've got like loads of loose bits of hay and whatnot, but genuinely speaking, what do you think? And then I've got some more left over if you want to go over it, if you do realise you've got bald patches somewhere, or if you want to put some on the edges here. I mean, once that's on the door, you won't be able to see the back of it anyway. But yeah, what do you think? Let me know how you all got on.